Okay, if there is one thing that me, you, and everyone else watching this video all have in common, it is that we all seek purpose in this life. Purpose is what gives you meaning in this life. It's the thing that motivates you to wake up every morning and take on the challenges that life throws your way, because you know that it's for a greater good. It doesn't matter how old or young you are, how rich or poor you are, it doesn't matter your race, your gender, your religion, none of that matters. We all want to find our purpose in life. And a lot of times, we look to these things to give us purpose, to give us this sense of purpose. We believe that our purpose is defined by these things, but in reality, it's not. Okay, your purpose is to be who you are, to be your true, authentic self, all of yourself. Okay, the good, the bad, and the ugly. To have that foundation of being you and to build on that and to better yourself and grow from the seed of who you really truly are. Don't get your purpose confused with your goals. This is something that I definitely did quite a bit and still do sometimes to this day. Sometimes I get caught up in, trying to grow on YouTube, and I believe that that is part of my purpose, but the central focus of my purpose is to be me. Everything else falls after that. I can't be a YouTuber if I'm not being myself. Y'all wouldn't watch me if I was trying to be like anyone else. You guys watch my videos because I am being my true authentic self and providing value in that way. And, the reason why I make these videos is because I want to inspire you guys to do the same. I want to see you guys be happy within yourselves. And that's why, I'm not afraid to speak my truth. I'll speak out on things that I don't agree with. I don't care what people think. I'm willing to go against the grain and speak my truth in the face of animosity. Those things don't bother me as much as inspiring other people gives me a sense of fulfillment. But I couldn't do that if I wasn't being myself. Now, in order to be the best version of yourself and to really embrace who you are, you have to love yourself. You have to be confident in yourself and be willing to embrace yourself and express yourself to other people. And yeah, people are going to judge you for being yourself. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people judge you because they're either ignorant to, the things that you're interested in, the things that you invest your time and energy into, or they're intimidated by you because they see that you have this confidence. They see that you have this energy about you that they don't know how to attain. And, the best thing you can do is lead by example. And this is something that I'm learning as I go further along on my YouTube journey. I'm realizing that me going back and forth with haters and trying to, justify my thoughts and ideals, it's not really accomplishing anything. That's just holding me back. That's wasting my time. Now don't get me wrong, if somebody wants to have like a civil discussion about the things that I believe in, I'll do that. But at the same time, when somebody is just coming in with judgment and animosity and anger, there's no point in me wasting my time going back and forth with those people. And I'm trying to lead by example and show you guys that that same thing applies in real life. You're gonna have haters in real life. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, how normal you try to be, how different you try to be. No matter what, people are going to judge you. So you might as well be yourself. Now, obviously, I've reached a point where I can be myself. I'm confident in myself and I love myself. But that wasn't always the case. Growing up, Actually, hold on real quick. Okay, that's better. Now, growing up, I definitely lacked purpose in life. Actually, no. When I was a kid, like a little kid, I definitely had more direction than I had as I got older. I remember like as a little kid, like maybe between the ages of like 5, 6, 7, I definitely had more direction in life. I knew that I liked to create things. Like I was into origami. I liked to write when I was a kid. In fact, I think I actually wanted to be an author at one point. So, as a kid, before I had a chance to go through the school system and receive that conditioning, I definitely had a good sense of purpose and a good idea of who I was. Now, like I said, as I got older, that began to change. Okay, that changed quite drastically with each and every year. I felt like as I got older, my confidence went down. And so it's like the things that I was good at as a kid, like writing and, just creating things, I started to believe that I wasn't a very creative person. And, I don't want to be a victim. Like, I don't want to put myself in a space of victimization. But I feel like the way that school is structured. It's structured in such a way that entrepreneurs and creators don't really have that same sense of purpose, that same sense of, understanding of themselves, if they rely on the school system to develop that sense of purpose and understanding of themselves. So, of course, that is on me for, looking to external sources to figure out what I wanted to do in life. But the point still stands that the system itself is messed up. Like, it is definitely flawed. They need to expose kids to more options, to show people that entrepreneurship and creativity is okay. Trying to put kids in a box and hold them up to the same standard as each other, that only kills their confidence. And that's why you have so many people going to college and working these jobs that they hate. They're just doing it for the money because they believe that that's the only thing they can do to be successful. But that's not true. I'm an example of that. I'm a living, breathing example of that. You're watching my video right now. This is a video that I created. I'm creating this video right now. I'm sitting here talking to the camera. I'm going to edit this video at some point. Like, this is all coming straight from my mind and straight from my heart. So, these are the things that they don't really show you in school. They don't show you how to be a YouTuber. They don't introduce these ideas to you. And that is the school system's fault. But at the same time, I'm giving you this information right now. Because if you're watching this, then the chances are you're probably confused as to what your purpose is. And I'm here to tell you that you know what your purpose is. Okay, you know what your purpose is internally. Growing up, I remember I was so into YouTube. I used to watch so many YouTubers, and like, out of every social media site, YouTube was the one that I just loved to spend my time on. And I always thought interacting with YouTubers was cool, like when they would reply to my comments. Didn't matter how many subs they had. Whenever somebody was making videos, I thought they were famous. They could have like 200 subs. I thought they were famous. I feel like subconsciously I envied the fact that they were able to create. They were able to create. And honestly, this was before I even knew you can make money off of YouTube. Like, I didn't realize you could really make money off of YouTube until like a couple of years ago. And now I'm sitting here making money for this video. I'm going on a tangent. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to the story. So basically, like I said, growing up, I didn't have that purpose. And each and every year, it just got worse and worse and worse because I felt like I was getting closer to that point when I would have to make a decision. Because you feel like by the time you're 18, you have to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. So, I remember that really took a toll on my confidence and thus my mental health. I began to experience depression around like senior year of high school, maybe like junior, senior year, began to experience depression, and it only got worse. I knew that I hated school. I knew that I hated school with all of my heart. And, it's not even so much the structure and the flaws that I mentioned earlier. It's just the whole system itself. The idea of having an authoritative figure over me, controlling every part of my day. That just didn't sit well with me. I never became accustomed to that. I never felt comfortable with that. So after I graduated from high school, and I graduated early, just so that I could get up out of there because I hated it so much. After I graduated from high school, I spent that entire summer, 6 months, the entire summer, trying to decide what I wanted to do with my life. And it was that summer that I was really exposed to the ideas of being an entrepreneur for the first time. I realized that these things are attainable, from anybody. And, I didn't have that confidence in myself at first to go after this. So I ended up going to college. I ended up going to community college. And I remember in that one semester that I went, or I think it might have been 2 semesters, I'm not really sure. I went from like August to March, from August to the following March. So in that time, I switched my major like 7 times. Like, I could not decide on a major at all. And they always told us that going to community college is how you figure out what you want to do. That's the best place. No, like, that's a lie. They are lying. I was going to guidance counselors, all of this. None of that stuff helped at all. If anything, it made me even more confused. But in the grand scheme of things, that confusion brought me clarity. I realized that the reason why I couldn't decide on a major is because I didn't belong in college. Like, I did not belong in college. And I remember before I went and signed up for college in the first place, I had this gut feeling that I shouldn't be going there. I knew in my heart that I did not want to go to college. I remember the last day of high school, the day I walked out of that school for the last time, I felt complete and utter happiness for the first time in years. That's when I realized, like, yo, this is what my life is supposed to be like. Like, I'm supposed to have this feeling every day, this freedom. But anyways, like I said, I tried to go to college and it didn't work out for me. I kept switching my major. I was depressed. I felt like I was wasting my time. And I remember one day I had an epiphany. I was sitting there doing my math homework and it must have been like 2 or 3 in the morning. Like, I was like dead tired, like falling asleep every 5 minutes at my desk type of tired. And I remember thinking to myself, what if I put this energy towards starting my own business? And I remember after that thought entered my mind, it never left. It never left my mind. And after that, I couldn't look at school the same way again. I felt like I was in school trying to conform to this 9-to-5 lifestyle, this system that I had been led to believe was the only way to be successful in society, in this world that we live in. But that night, when I had that thought pass through my head, I think that's when I realized that that was going to be my last semester in college. And at the end of the semester, I remember I had all my classes lined up and I dropped them. I just dropped them, all of them. And I went and told my parents, hey, I just dropped out of college. Actually, I think what I really told them was that I was going to take a gap semester to decide on a major. And that's what I told other people. I told them that I was just taking time to decide on what I wanted to major in. I don't know why I told them that. I knew in my heart that I was not going back. Like, I knew. And I knew that because the feeling of dropping those classes was the same feeling that I got when I walked out of high school for the last time. I knew that I was not going to go back to college. It just wasn't going to happen, no matter what. I knew that I wanted to start my own business, but I didn't know what type of business, or I didn't know what type of skill I wanted to learn. I just knew that I wanted to be my own boss. And I remember after I dropped out of college, I thought to myself, man, I should make a video about this because I know people are going to have a lot of questions and they're going to want to know why, a 4.0 student dropped out of school, because that doesn't happen very often. And I'm not saying that to flex or anything. I'm basically trying to put it into context that, nobody would have thought that I would drop out of school. Like, absolutely nobody. I took school very seriously back in high school. I took my grades seriously. I was obsessed with my GPA. I was always doing my homework. I was the person that people were cheating off of. And I dropped out, so I decided, you know what? I'm going to make this video so that when people ask me why I dropped out, I can send them there so that I won't have to answer. And I remember I filmed that video on my phone and edited the video on my phone. And the video was terrible. It's still up too. It's called Why I Dropped Out of College. It's like the first video that you can actually see my face and hear my voice in. I put that video up and the feeling that gave me was the same feeling that I got when I dropped those classes and when I walked out of high school. And that feeling right there, that feeling of just complete bliss, just creating. I felt like I was back to being that 6-year-old Jordan creating again. And every time I turn this camera on, I get that same feeling. And that's how I know I found my purpose in life. I feel like this is something that I'm so passionate about that I was willing to do this for free for like a year. And I only did it because I love it so much. I love doing this. Like now, I remember when I was a kid, I used to stay up all night playing video games sometimes. I'd be so tired, but I didn't want to go to sleep because I was having so much fun with the video games. Now I get that same feeling when I'm editing videos. It's such a good feeling to have found my purpose. And now to be making money off of this, I know I said this before, but when I got monetized, I cried for 30 minutes, man. I was speechless. I didn't know what to do. Just the feeling of knowing that I'm getting money to do the one thing that I love to do more than anything else. YouTube is like my safe space. This is where I come to express myself and, get things off of my chest. YouTube is like my diary. And it's like I always knew deep down within me that I wanted to do this. I wanted to create. I wanted to help people. When I see comments or messages from people telling me that I've inspired them to better their lives or to chase their dreams, those mean more than any money I could get from YouTube. And just the fact that I'm able to create, the money is just a bonus. Now, obviously, being a YouTuber is not a very logical thing to do. You know, if you tell your teacher in high school that you want to be a YouTuber, they're probably going to scoff at you or laugh at you. You know, and same with your classmates, because a lot of people don't have that mindset. They don't have that vision that you have. And that's okay. They don't have to have the vision. As long as you have the vision, that's all that matters. And I'm losing sunlight, so I'm gonna have to kind of wrap this up quickly. But basically what I'm trying to say is your purpose lies within you. Okay, you already know what you want to do. If you look within, you know what you want to do in this life. But the only way to find it is to be yourself. You have to accept yourself for who you are. Become the person that you were before they told you who to be. And you'll find that everything else will just fall right into place. You know, just be yourself, love yourself, embrace yourself, do what you love to do. And once you find that thing that you're passionate about, never let it go.